Looking through the lens, opinions of three friends. Looking through the lens, sometimes they don't make sense. One.
Welcome to another episode of Through
What
the
was that,
Lens. I don't know. Today I'll be hosting Mr. Sundu on my far right. As always, that's Mr. Zephyros. Hello.
Good day to you, lads.
And on my immediate right, that's Mr. Patronus Gold.
Good evening, Elan.
And it's time to kick off another Through the Lens series. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's released.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Alright, super hyped for this series. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single episode of this series. We're going to be posting reviews of each episode as they come out weekly. So, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, American television miniseries, created by Malcolm Spellman for Disney Plus, and pretty cool. Following the events of Avengers Endgame, Sam Wilson / Falcon and Bucky Barnes / Winter Soldier team up in a global adventure that tests their abilities and their patience. Pretty obvious that synopsis if you've watched the trailers by now. So, in any case, yeah, it's an exploration into what happens after the blip, after all that. So pretty cool stuff. As I said, created by Malcolm Spellman, directed by Kari Skogland. Sorry, I'm mispronouncing these names. Stars Sebastian Stan, Anthony Mackie, Wyatt Russell, Don Cheadle, and a bunch more people that will get introduced to more as the series goes on. I think Danny Ramirez was one of the actors here, but I can't get a face on that, so I'll have to confirm that somehow. Actually, no, I think I can confirm that. Yes, Danny Ramirez was Cocaine Torres in this series. Executive producers Kevin Feige, Luis Despacito, not really, but yes, Victoria Alonso, Nate Moore, Kari Skogland, and Malcolm Spellman. And I think I've gone on for this bit long. Let's just talk about some first impressions. How do you feel?
First impressions for this one. It's good. It's good. It's setting up for some. It's very interesting to see. It's a lot of setup for stuff. It has. I see a lot of potential in this.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, in my opinion, it's not like super duper engaging. I feel like there's some stuff that make me go like, oh, I want to see what happens next. But for the most part, it feels like a bit more of like an epilogue to Endgame, with like a little bit branching off to a new thing. There's a lot of pacing issues in this. Though I'd say for about half the episode, like with Bucky stuff, I found that to be quite interesting. Falcon stuff, honestly, didn't really like it that much. So I think this is decent. I mean, I think it's, but does have some.
I agree, mate.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed this episode.
He has like really low FPS for me, so he did this like really slow blink.
Yeah, I am a low FPS
Very dramatic.
because this webcam is weird. I
Yeah.
enjoyed this episode. It is setting up the stuff for the show, such as introducing our individual problems for our two main characters, their sides of the story. And yeah, I feel there is potential to be had here. And I find it very interesting to dive into the side characters of the Avengers series. So I'm pretty excited to see what's next.
I mostly mirror everyone else's opinions, although, as always, I don't notice the bad things about things that are meant to be good. So okay, I thought it was just fine, but we'll dive into that. Let's talk about the acting. Pretty solid, I guess.
Right,
I thought. Want to go any deeper into this?
I mean, what do you expect? It's Marvel. It's always going to be.
Yeah.
And we know Falcon, we know Winter Soldier, we know Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan. Yeah,
New
that's good as well.
Yep, top notch. New characters as well. Although we haven't gotten in much of the major characters in this first episode. Gonna set up a whole bunch of the other ones. Like we haven't seen Daniel Bruhl. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry, but Daniel Bruhl as Helmut Zima. Emily Van Camp
I'm
as
very
Sharon
excited for
Carter.
him.
Yeah. Also George St. Pierre as George Petrock. And also one of the main flag smashers that we saw from the trailers, Carly Morgenthau, played by Erin Kellyman. There's gonna be a whole bunch more, and we also only got like a little snapshot. Oh, actually, no, I'm probably not gonna say. I'll leave that to spoilers then. Also, I forgot to mention Adapera Oduye. Probably mispronouncing that as well. Sarah Wilson, who's Sam's sister. So we've got a bunch of names in here, but some of the main characters have not showed their faces yet. That being said, though, still pretty solid across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy. Anything else to say?
Pretty solid.
All right. Yeah. Writing for this episode was done by Malcolm Spellman. Some pacing issues?
Yeah, I mean, I said it before, but like, well, you start off with a bang. You got an action sequence straight off the bat. That's pretty good. People in with see the type of action we get. So, in my opinion, I personally didn't really like that action sequence, which I'll touch on later. But then you got a lot of I guess the character building moments. But on Falcon's side, to me, his issues they're pretty like real world issues, right? That you'd have if you're like low income, etc. stuff. But to me, doesn't okay because we've only seen one episode. I can't really be certain about this, so I gotta have to wait till the rest of the show. But to me, so far, I'm not sure it really fits with the superhero stuff. I feel like the show's gonna go like superhero stuff after this. So I'm not sure if this is even gonna. This might just be like a little bit of background, but see, I can't really judge it based on like if it has that much of an impact. So to me, I just found it a bit uninteresting. But like, I really need to see the rest of the show to solidify that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they're going for like Netflix Marvel show thing where the characters have their own like personal relationship problems and also superhero problems.
That's another thing. Since we watched those stuff like Daredevil, blah blah blah. This isn't on that level of writing yet, unfortunately.
But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. Anything else to say about writing?
Oh, so I'll go back to like the good parts of the thing. I'm really interested in Bucky's story. I had basically no problems with that. That was because that actually felt like a real like step forward of the character. Whereas Falcon, it felt like he's like wrapping up the aftermath of Endgame. There's a tiny bit leading on to like another plot line, which with the flag smash, right? But with Bucky, he's tying off his like Winter Soldier stuff, but it's also it's really developing his character further, and I'm very interested. And like the guilt stuff he feels and all of that, he's such an interesting character, you know?
Yeah, super interesting. I was really hoping to see what would happen with Winter Soldier after this.
Yeah.
Would he just become like retired USA retired soldier? I don't know. In any case, I like to see them fleshing out his past, what he's doing now, and all that kind of stuff. So pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, also from an action standpoint, his action sequences, it's really weird. It was filmed almost entirely different from Falcon's action sequence. I could talk about it more in the visuals, but yeah, there's interesting differences there. I don't really understand why, but like.
So yeah. Also, do you feel like the episode was a bit short? I personally didn't notice this too much. Although we like to talk about it.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna compare this to WandaVision, not from like a story perspective, but from just like a streaming perspective. Well, I guess okay, that show is like ties into a TV show. That's like the meta of the whole show, right? So after each episode ends, it makes sense, right? But this feels like the start of a movie. And by the start, I mean like early start of it, like the first half hour of like not even enough to really get the show going. It's like just starting off. Um, not enough, and especially since we've seen the Netflix shows, this isn't enough to. It just feels like they cut it off suddenly, and it wasn't enough to be a flip. In my opinion.
Wasn't fleshed out enough
So yeah.
for a first episode.
And they leave you on a bit of a like a, I guess, cliffhanger, but it wasn't really a cliffhanger. It was kind of like that's something interesting, but like it felt like the scene didn't even finish. Like they just got like halfway through that scene and then they cut it. So I don't.
Yeah.
No, maybe just trying to hook the audience in. Come on, you know our show is worth it. Just please watch our show, please. I've got nothing much else to add for writing. Is that what we got?
I think yeah.
I'll take that as a yes. So moving on, cinematography. Cinematography was done by PJ Dillon.
PJ.
It's pretty cinematic.
It is very cinematic. There were a lot of cool shots used that we might talk about later in spoiler zone.
I really like in that first action sequence that they used a lot of GoPro stuff.
Oh yeah.
The flying
Yeah.
bit.
Which surprisingly they didn't use that. Did they use that much back in like Winter Soldier? Because that seems like a pretty nice thing to capture flying. I feel like you're right there. So in my opinion, this is mainly during that first action sequence. Let's say there's like they're trying to do the Russo brothers thing of like using shaky cam, but they use it too much, in my opinion. That it also combines with the editing as well. But like people will be like shooting Falcon, whatever, blah blah blah, and it's going by so quickly that I can't really see what's going on. Whereas I can compare it to there's a spoiler, there's a Winter Soldier fight in the movie. I mean in the episode.
Yeah.
That is spoiler.
Oh, not really. We're not explaining what it is.
But that one's done without too many cuts and while keeping it pretty static.
Yeah.
So also just generally, actually no, yeah, that's basically my own.
Sure. All right. And that's the case. I can move on to editing and visuals. Focus a little bit about it already.
Yeah, just the action isn't quite. Yeah, the action's a bit too quick
Should
cut.
try hard.
I'm not gonna say Michael Bay, but like hearing that.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
But it has a Marvel quality nonetheless.
Oh yeah, choreography and stuff is pretty great. That opening action sequence without going into too much, there's some really great visuals. It was really cool to see. How would I describe it? Air combat.
I was gonna say
people
swoosh.
falling and pew pew pew.
We've seen it in the trailer, but
Oh, yeah.
we won't go into it anyways. But yeah.
Yeah.
Also, want to talk about the some more of the visuals, set pieces, all that kind of stuff, effects.
Lots of explosion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Explosions. They went
I
all
really like
over
the
place.
Winter Soldier action sequence. That looked really.
Yeah. They went to
Yeah.
Swiss.
What were
They
you saying,
went
Dio?
to Kentucky. They went to Washington. They
No, don't say that.
well, I'm not saying what they did.
thought
I
I
just
think we
said
need to
they
cut that out.
went there.
Probably still need to cut that out.
And I think that's fine.
Okay, well, in any case, anything else to say before editing and visuals?
Costume design. I like the
Ah,
costume.
yes.
Well, I mean,
Super
we
cool.
only really saw Falcon, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, his
Still,
costume,
yeah.
I like it.
Epic. All right. Music, as always, pretty marvelous. Haha. You made that joke.
I did.
Credit to Jack for that joke. Very well done. Very good. Very good.
Very good.
Also, an interesting about the music that I think we should point out in the Winter Soldiers always had this theme or like instrument that's always used for when there's like a thing talking about when they're talking about the Winter Soldier. There's like this screaming that was turned into like basically like a ambient instrument
Really cool.
for his music, for his theme. Yeah. It was in when the movie Winter Soldier. It's in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's in trailers and all that. And I believe coming from Eric Voss, of course, the scream was originally sampled off when Bucky fell off the train in the first Avenger. But later on, I think they used some different screens. But the point is that it's just like in a torment. It's his inner demons screaming at him. It's all his memories, or I don't know. It's like this symbolic piece of sound, basically, that always reminds you, yeah, he's the Winter Soldier. And that came up in this series as well, which I noticed. So very cool to the music department for the Winter Soldier. Other than that, mostly just regular Marvel stuff, I say. Coolio.
Alright.
Shall we go on? Spoiler zone. Hello, lads. Alright, timestamp on the screen right now. Let's go. Alright. So, talking about the cinematography, they used a lot of interesting angles and a lot of close-ups in the scene where Bucky was talking to the shrink.
Oh yeah.
Is that like regular practice for like these kind of shrink scenes?
I mean, it's just like everything is out of focus.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's kind of it's good cinematography. It's not like something I haven't seen.
Okay. Good cinematography. Very good. Alright. Now, I think, are we going to turn this into more a discussion series like we did with WandaVision?
I guess so. I
Guess so?
didn't get like all the plot points down there. I'll
Yeah.
do that. I can do that.
I think we can freestyle this a bit. It was only a pilot episode. I didn't go into too much.
Yeah.
So, the Flag Smashers, you would have seen them in the trailers. They got the black masks on with the red hand,
Yeah.
Wilson style. Now, what also said by Sam in the trailers, he's saying to Bucky, we're either fighting aliens, androids, or wizards. This is gonna come up in a future episode. Well, obviously, I think they're referring to the Flag Smashers here. Could they be aliens, androids, or wizards?
Yeah.
I don't think they were wizards. Now, could they be aliens or androids? I don't know. Could they be metahuman or mutants or, I don't know.
I think metahuman is.
Yeah, I realize that now. Mutants, superhumans. I don't know what else Marvel calls them. But
Super soldiers, right?
Oh yeah, super soldiers. Yeah, I forgot about that one. So it could be any number of things. I'll be honest.
I'm also really interested to see is Mr. What's his name? Agent.
Military man.
The new Captain America.
John Walker.
Yeah. I wonder if he's a soldier as well.
very curious. There's a whole lot of stuff happening. Also, we haven't seen Zemo yet. And we
Yeah.
know Zemo is going to play a big part in this. Like, obviously, he's this big character that well, he was just like left in a cell, right?
They should. To be honest, they should have introduced him back in this episode.
Probably.
I
Maybe
don't think
just-
this episode has like. I mean, the flag stuff, the flag smasher stuff. But, I do want to see.
For those of you who don't know about the Flag Smashers, like historically, in the comics, it was just one guy. This one guy who called himself the Flag Smasher. But in the TV show, he's been shown. They're being shown as this group, organization, whatever you want to call them. And they both share the same motive of getting rid of these getting rid of borders, getting rid of political agendas with these like, the flag smashers. They're smashing the flags. They don't want.
No nations.
They want to unify the countries.
They're
and
one
for
nation.
They're a
unified
Wow.
world.
Thanos cult.
Yeah. They liked
Yeah.
it the way it was before the blip, so now they decide, haha, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it
Make-
our way now.
America great again, like Thanos did.
Yeah.
Yes. And well, like the first like violent thing we see them do, they go rob a Swiss bank.
I really liked that scene. That scene was very cool.
Very cool, very cool. Also, that was also the introduction to the to a really strong guy. Wonder what he could be.
We had a theory about that, didn't we?
Yes. So we have yet to see I forgot her name. Aaron Kellyman's character, who's on Wikipedia shown to be said to be the leader of the Flag Smashers.
Seems like it.
Yeah, and we saw in the trailers, but not in this episode.
So I
Still
don't
gonna
think
be-
she'll be the ultimate leader. I reckon the ultimate leader will be Baron Zemo.
Yes. Now we know Baron Zemo in the comics created like this.
The Masters of Evil. Right?
Also, there was like the Thunderbolts, and Baron Zemo was part of that as well.
Aaron Zemo?
Aaron Zemo, yes.
Yes.
But it could go a lot of ways, honestly. With like with Black Widow movie, with the Black Widow movie, we know Thunderbolt's gonna play a role in that. So I don't know, could set a number of things
Also,
up.
Thaddeus Ross has made a return in Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of that action.
So honestly, who the fuck knows? Could be a whole number of things. We know Zemo's gonna make a return in Sokovia. We know he's gonna be places.
I
It's just a whole
do
bunch
want
of
him.
things.
Yeah, I want him to create the Thunderbolts or something. But at the same time, I'm not gonna have too much high hopes after WandaVision. I kind of learned that maybe I should kind of like not go too far into that.
Yeah.
It do be like that.
Oh, I just read this as well. So the director Carrie Scolan was excited to explore Zemo's complexity following the dark place that Civil War left him in. With the series showing that he has lost everything and is paying for his crimes. Spellman noted that the show will dive into Zemo's origin story and how Zemo views himself as a hero.
Yeah,
So okay, we've got some stuff about that.
because he thinks superheroes are supremacists.
Yes.
That was like
And other than that, the most we know is that Zemo's wearing his traditional sock from the comics.
yeah.
Yeah. But in any case, I would say, I think we can wrap this up now. Anything else to add for spoilers though?
Where did this slot in the original MCU Phase 4 lineup? This is one of the early ones, right?
Yeah.
I think it was before WandaVision, but they had to delay it because I remember during COVID they just had to stop filming,
Uh-huh.
so they like paused this like the production for like quite early. Which also I'm gonna just say that's something. It's not the show's fault. It's obviously because of COVID that this. It's a shame that this has to release right after WandaVision, it makes a bit more sense that that came after, because this is a very different show. This is like going back to like more Marvel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
Cool. Alright, any final things? Because we now gonna go into our final thing. Final verdicts. Alright. Dia's gonna kick us off for this first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Take it away.
This episode's alright. It has its moments, and its good moments, and its not so good moments. When comparing it to like the Netflix Marvel shows of yesteryears, well, so far it's not that as exciting or as well written, but I am expecting that it should be better in the next few episodes. But yeah, it could be improved, but nonetheless, I still enjoyed it. 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Cool.
Yeah, this is a pretty good episode. A pilot that reintroduces us to the characters we know. Doesn't really serve well as a TV show. Feels more like a movie that just got cut down a bit, which is a shame. It does have issues in terms of sharing the storyline, I guess, between Falcon and Winter Soldier. Within my opinion, the Winter Soldier storyline being interesting and Falcon's being there. So there's some overall plot threads that are being introduced, which I'm interested in finding out more about, the flag smashes, etc. Pretty decent pilot. I'm feeling like a 6.5 on this one.
6.5. Alright. Opening episode. Pretty decent stuff we're seeing. Heads or tails, Jack?
Tails.
Alright, I'm going with a 7. Because that is a totally fair way of getting a 6.9 for a final verdict. Let's go!
Yes.
Very nice.
Alright, that's a 6.9 for your first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single episode of this series. We're gonna do weekly, as I said there. And you want to see this 6.9 progress up to perhaps like a 10, 9, 8 for the overall series? Who knows? You just have to
Yeah,
figure
pretty
out. You
ambitious.
have to wait. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of the series, as well as some of the other episodes that we're gonna release on the Unholy Trinity. And with that said, we shall see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Ciao.
再见. All right.